Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Yasin, and today I'm going to explain the plant cell. This is my second lecture. In the first lecture, we have talked about the animal cell from the chapter number 1, cell structure and organization, and it is from the same book of O level biology 5090. So, topics to be covered in this topic in this video are plant cells, its component and organelles. Components are the structures will make the structure of the cell, and organelles are the things which are present inside the cells. Okay, so we will also talk about the similarities and differences between the plant and animal cell. So let's start from the components which are present in a plant cell are the cell wall, cell membrane and the cytoplasm. So cell membrane and cytoplasm we have discussed it before in animal cells, so we will just skip it. We will just talk about the cell wall in this video. And the organelles of the plant cell are the cell vacuole, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, chloroplast and the ribosome. So all the organelles we have learned in the portion of the animal cell. So the new ones are the cell vacuole and the chloroplast. We will see there. Okay, the first is the component which is a cell wall. So a non-living, thick and rigid layer around the cell membrane is known as a cell wall. As you can see in this plant cell, the outermost layer is known as a cell wall. It is thick and rigid layer, and it is present around the cell membrane. Basically, this outermost dark green color is the cell wall, and this inner side one, this is the cell membrane. Okay, the cell membrane was flexible and it is thin, but the cell wall is thick as compared to the cell membrane. Now the cell wall contains the cellulose. Cellulose is a tough insoluble carbohydrate, and its function is that it provides strength, protection, support to the protoplasm of the protoplasm. Basically, what is the protoplasm? That it is a cytoplasm plus the organelles which are present inside the cell. It is known as the protoplasm of the cell. So the main function of this cellulose, which is tough insoluble carbohydrate or the cell wall, it is that it provides the strength and protection to the plant cell. And the one more thing, that the cell wall is permeable, as in case of the cell membrane. We learned that the cell membrane is partially permeable. It doesn't allow the movement of all molecules to into and out of the cell, but the cell wall is permeable. It means that it allows all the substances to move into and out of the cell easily. Okay, the cell vacuole. In case of the animal cell, we have learned that the animal cells have a lot of small membrane bounded fluid filled sacs which are known as vacuoles. But in case of the plant cell, there is only a single large central vacuole which is filled with cell sap. Now this cell sap contains dissolved substances such as sugar, mineral salts and amino acids. Amino acids are the basic units that will combine to form a protein. Okay, so the cell sap contains the dissolved substances, sugar, mineral salts and amino acids, and this large central vacuole which is present in the middle of the plant cell is enclosed by a membrane which is known as tonoplast. Okay, and the last one, which is most important as well, that the cell vacuole is not involved in the cell division. When the plant cell is going to reproduce involved in the cell division, so this cell vacuole is not participating in the process of cell division. Now the plastids. Now the plastids are present in the cytoplasm of the plant cell. These are of three types. The first one, that if the plastid contains the green color pigment which is chlorophyll, then it will be known as chloroplast. And if it is colorless, If the plastid is colorless, it will contain starch and it will be called as leucoplast. It is used as a storage, food storage. So starch is a food which is made in a plant by the process of photosynthesis. So it is stored in the plastid, and this plastid is known as the leucoplast. Then if the plastid has a bright color pigment, then this will be known as the chromoplast. These bright color pigments are carotenoids, and when the plastid has these pigments, then it will be called as chromoplast. And this chromoplast is basically present in the petals and fruits which has bright colors. Now, as you can see in this picture, the chloroplasts are of green color because they contain the green pigment which is chlorophyll. Its function is to absorb the sunlight and do photosynthesis, and it will produce starch and glucose basically, which is produced by the process of photosynthesis, and it also stores glucose. And then the chromoplast, it contains the carotenoids which are red, orange and yellow pigments, and it is present in the flowers and the fruits. And the last one is the leucoplast. It contains no pigments and it is used to store starch. Glucose then converted into a starch, and this starch is then stored into the leucoplast. So as we are talking about the typical plant cells, so we will focus on the chloroplast. Now these are the small membrane bounded bodies present in the cytoplasm of the cell. As you can see that this is the labeling of the chloroplast. So these are the small green color disc like structures which are present in the cytoplasm of the cell. These are known as the chloroplast. So these green discs containing the chlorophyll, which is a green color pigment, and its function is to undergo photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is a process in which they convert the carbon dioxide and water into the glucose in the presence of sunlight. So this process is involved in making their own food. So glucose is made by the chloroplast. This is the internal structure of the chloroplast. They have small coined structures which are stuck together. These are thylakoids. So the next one is ribosome. I'm going to repeat it again, that plants do have ribosomes made up of ribosomal RNA and proteins, and there are some attached ribosomes. So the function of that attached ribosomes, these attached ribosomes are present which are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. So these are present in the cytoplasm of the cell as well. So its function is to make proteins that are transported out of the cells. Okay, so they also make protein, but these proteins are transported out of the cell. And the ribosomes which are free in the cytoplasm, they also make proteins, but they are used within the cytoplasm of the cell. So this is a main difference. Okay, now the other cell components and organelles which are present in the plant cell, these are the endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, cytoplasm, and then Golgi apparatus, then cell membrane. So these are the components and organelles that we have not discussed in this video, because in the previous video in the animal cells we have discussed them in detail. So some of the examples of plant cells. So these examples are important just to know or to memorize the structure of other plant cells. Okay, so when in your paper, in your exams, when you will see different structures of the plant cell, you will not get confused. Okay, so first one is the onion cell. These are the stained membrane. This is a stained membrane of onion. So here you can see one cell. So it has a nucleus, cell wall, cell membrane and cell vacuole. Now the cells of a leaf. Inside a leaf there are different cells are present. In the upper epidermal cells, these are the upper epidermal cells, they have very less or no chloroplasts. Then palisade mesophyll cells and spongy mesophyll cells. These palisade mesophyll cells are closely packed, and they have a lot of chloroplast as compared to the spongy mesophyll cells, which are loosely packed and here have these air spaces between them. These are the air spaces between them, and they have less number of chloroplast in them as compared to the palisade mesophyll cells. Then there are lower epidermal cells and then the guard cells. These two are the guard cells which are surrounding the stomata of the cell. Okay, this is the picture of palisade mesophyll cell, and this palisade mesophyll cell, it has the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the nucleus, the mitochondrion, and many chloroplast, cell vacuole, and a cell wall. Okay, now what is the difference between the plant and the animal cell? Okay, now the plant cells are larger than the animal cells. They are 40 to 100 micrometer in size as compared to the animal cells, which are 10 to 20 micrometer in size. And the plant cells have cell wall, but the animal cells have no cell wall. They have cell membrane which is thin and flexible, and plants have cell wall which is thick and gives strength to the plant cell. But plant cells do have the cell membrane as well, which is thin and very slightly visible. Okay, plant cells have nucleus, but it is pushed at one side of the cell because of the cell vacuole. They have cell vacuole in the center which is large, and because of the cell vacuole the nucleus is pushed at one side of the cell. And in animal cells, nucleus is present at the center of the cell. Now the plant cells have one large vacuole and the animal cells have many small membrane bounded vacuoles. Now the plant cells have chloroplasts. These are the green color small bodies which are present inside the plant cells, which are responsible for photosynthesis. But the animal cells are not involved in the process of photosynthesis, so they do not have chloroplast. Now the plant may store starch. Plants store starch and the animal cells never store starch. The last one is the centrioles are absent in the plant cell and the centrioles are present in a plant cell. So these are the main differences of the animal and plant cells. Now, what are the similarities between the animal and the plant cell? So basically both have the plasma membrane. In plant cell it is visible, in animal cells it is visible, but in plant cell it is slightly visible because of the cell wall. Then both have the cytoplasm, both have the ribosomes, attached ribosomes and free ribosomes in the cytoplasm, both have this. Then the endoplasmic reticulum, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, both have this. And the mitochondria, both animal and plant cells have the mitochondria, because the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It generates energy in the form of ATP, which is utilized by the cells, and these cells use that energy during the cell growth and cell division. Now then both have the nucleus. Within the nucleus they have the chromosomes and nucleolus, which is a darker color body which is responsible for the synthesis of ribosomal RNA. Okay, then both have vacuoles. Vacuoles are present in both plant and animal cell, but the difference is this, that the animal cells have a large central vacuole and in animal cells they have many small vacuoles. Then both have the Golgi apparatus. So these are the similarities. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you liked it. And keep watching my channel for more videos. Thank you.